Hey, what's going on, guys? It's Joel from Easy Engineering and welcome back to another video. So today I'm actually really excited to discuss what I'm about to talk about in this video because it's actually something I've just stumbled across very recently, and that is just a tiny little tip in Ableton where you can actually have your send signal to each other. I never knew you could do this. Maybe some of you guys do, but I thought it was really cool. I thought it was a really neat little trick, and it kind of opens up a whole other world on how you can actually process your signals and how you can affect your signal flow, your signal chains within your sends. And like I said, it just opens up a whole new world where you can just kind of be a little bit more creative, get a little bit more versatile, and just get a bit more experimental. So like I said, I've only just come across this, so excuse me if I don't explain it correctly or I miss out on something or anything like that. But essentially, should know, or maybe you don't know, but Ableton has sends where you can send the signal of a channel to an effect to process that effect without actually affecting the actual signal of the channel. It's kind of splitting the signal into two, sending the signal to your return channel where you might have a reverb or a delay. I mean, Ableton always comes with a stock reverb and a stock delay on it, and then it sends it back through to the master output. So the standard channel that you'd be wanting to process will be going, the one signal will go straight from the channel to the master output, but because you're duplicating it or you're splitting the signal, it kind of splits off and it goes to your return and it comes back and it joins into the original signal. Now, the whole idea behind actually sending your sends or your return channels back onto each other or back onto other send channels or return channels is to just kind of affect that send signal or that return signal in a more creative way or a different way. And it's just about really affecting that signal without ever having to affect the initial or the original signal. And this can open up a lot of doors to get very creative. Obviously, you might implement it in different ways. With regards to production, it can be a very creative tool. I've been messing about for the past few days just trying to see what I would do. So this is how I would approach this in my production. Whereas if you're mixing it, you can get a lot more maybe intricate. You could probably get a little bit more detail without actually having to affect your recorded signal. So let's say you're mixing your guitar or your drums and you want to affect the reverb in a certain way, but you don't want to actually affect the channel that the reverb's on. You can then send the reverb to another return channel, which might have a delay or an EQ, or even just like a phaser or a flanger, just to kind of get a little bit of a tint of something different with regards to your reverb. And you can obviously modulate it, automate that send and return, dry and wet signal. So like I said, that your reverb, your return channel that has the reverb on it is not actually getting affected and ruining the reverb settings or whatever you would do. So over here, I've just got a simple loop going. It's a high-tech track that I am working on. So this is just a kick bass, some hi-hats, and just a high-tech lead. See, as you can see, I've got nothing on this channel over here. No effects, no processing, nothing. What I have done is I've changed the reverb settings, the stock reverb that they put on this return channel. I've just messed about with it a little bit. I've created another return channel that has D-Blue glitch on it, the original one. And then I've also added, just messed about with the delay, added an autopan and a corpus maybe. And again, this is just my approach on how I would use this little processing technique with regards to my return channel. So there you go. You can hear the lead over there. Now, if I just put up the dry wet of the return A, which is my reverb, all you get is the reverb. Right now, what I want to show you to give you a better example of how this will work is I'm going to be sending this signal to my D-Blue glitch. So instead of me having the D-Blue glitch as an inserted effect onto this channel, I've got it as a send effect or return effect. Now I'm going to boost the wet signal on my return of this channel into my D-Blue glitch. And now you can hear that send signal is being affected while the original channel is not actually being processed. This is a great way of, like I said, maintaining that original sound that you have while still affecting the signal in a certain way that you want to. So now what we can go and do is activate these sends over here. Is you just have to right click and enable send. I'm going to enable all of them. I'm going to enable them all on every single return that I have right now. Great. Okay, cool. So now you can have, 5, 10 return channels, and you can have different effects and everything. And it's just a way of creating an effects chain without, again, having to affect or process the original sound or channel that you want to affect. So what I can do is I can actually double up on my return channel of the Deep Blue glitch. Now I would be careful, because obviously when you're doubling up on that signal, you're doing exactly that. You're doubling up on that signal, which in turn can create a lot of feedback, and you just don't want to do that. You don't want to hurt your ears. So just be wary when doing this. So I think more probable for the feedback to have a lot more of a harsher effect when using things like reverb or delay. Be careful when doubling up on the signal, because you can potentially cause a lot of feedback, and that's not what you want to do. You don't want to have a hot signal and ruin or damage your ears. So again, I'm going to double up on my Deep Blue glitch. And now I want to actually send my delay. So I'm going to bring this up. But again, I'm not actually affecting See, this is my original sound. It's not being affected in any way because I've got no inserted effects or processing on it. As soon as I start boosting the wet signal of my return tracks, that's when the whole processing effect chain takes place. You can actually hear there that the signal was getting louder and louder and louder, and that is the feedback taking place initially or essentially. Again, you can just have a lot of fun with this. I think it's a really cool trick or tool to use, and just maintaining the integrity of the original sound while still having the freedom to do whatever you want to it. And again, you can obviously now map these to your MIDI controller, and then you can have a play around with it. Just record for about 2 to 5 minutes of just, interesting loops, sounds, modulations, everything like that. Now the key command to get your mapping window up is Command M or Control M for if you're on Windows, and then you just obviously click that and then select which button or knob or fader that you want to use on your MIDI keyboard if you have one. And then yeah, like you can see over here, I can now modulate or automate the send dry wet signal of that. You got to just think about signal flow and what you're doing and where you're sending the signal and how you want to affect the signal. But again, it helps you keep the integrity of the original sound while still being able to process it a little bit more. And I think it's a really cool tool. I'm definitely going to dive a little bit more deeper into it and try and see how I would really optimize this technique and really implement it into my own productions. I would definitely use it like I've just kind of briefly gone over today in a sense of massive effects chain. And again, because it's on your returns, you can send so many different instruments to this effects chain without ruining the original sound of the channel sound that you want to be affecting. I think it just opens up a lot of versatility and just gives you a great way of, affecting your sounds without ruining your sounds. So I really hope I have explained this in a way that, is correct and in a way that actually helps you understand this a little bit more. I too want to understand it a bit more, but I think it's a really, really great, cool technique to use. So yeah, I'm going to leave the video at that. I hope you enjoyed the video. If you did, please leave a like, comment down below. If you want to see more of these videos, you know what to do. Smash that subscribe button, click that little bell button on the side to get a notification when I release another video. And yeah, just have fun with this technique, really see what you can do with it, push boundaries. I think that's the whole idea behind music production, is just breaking any rules that people tell you they are rules because these rules are meant to be broken, all that kind of cliche crap. So yeah, that's it for the video. Thank you very much for watching, and I'll see you guys in the next one.